Have you ever held something so small, yet worth more than a luxury car, a house, or even your wildest dreams? Because today I am about to reveal 6 Mercury dimes, not just rare, but ultra-rare, the kind that can rewrite your financial destiny. These tiny silver treasures have vanished from circulation, hidden in private vaults, tucked away in forgotten drawers, or resting silently in the hands of a lucky few who have no idea what they're holding. One of these dimes could be sitting in your change jar right now, and you would never even know. Stay with me till the very end, because every second you watch brings you closer to uncovering a coin that could literally change your life. And trust me, the final coin on this list, it is so valuable. It is not just money, it is a legend. Welcome to Ultra Rare US Coins, where we uncover the hidden fortunes buried in American history. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button because this channel updates fresh every day with the world's rarest and most valuable US coins. Now let's begin with the coin that has left even professional collectors speechless. A coin that carries the elegance of American artistry and the power of hidden wealth. Coin number 1. Imagine holding a piece of history struck over a century ago. A coin that survived the chaos of World War I, the Roaring Twenties, and the Great Depression. The 1918 Mercury dime isn't just a coin, it's a survivor. Minted more than 100 years ago, this dime carries the artistic signature of Adolf A. Weinman, the same sculptor who designed the legendary Walking Liberty half-dollar. His Mercury dime design represents freedom, beauty, and strength, a symbol of America's rebirth after the storm of war. The coin's obverse shows liberty wearing a winged cap, often mistaken for the Roman god Mercury. That's where its nickname came from. But behind that mythic look is pure American soul, silver brilliance, perfection in symmetry, and a bold message of hope. This particular 1918 issue, without any mint mark, was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and it stands among the purest examples of early 20th century American minting precision. Its composition is 90% silver and 10% copper, giving it that distinct, soft silver glow that collectors crave. But it's not just about the metal, it's the story inside the metal that gives it its power. Most 1918 dimes were worn down in circulation, traded, pocketed, and forgotten. But uncirculated specimens, those are virtually ghosts. They never touched a cash register, never passed through a single hand, and never lost that original mint luster. That's exactly what makes the 1918, without mint mark, uncirculated Mercury dime a collector's dream, the kind of coin that turns an ordinary collection into a museum-grade masterpiece. Experts and investors are constantly hunting for flawless survivors, and every time one surfaces, the demand ignites instantly. Auction houses record bidding wars that can last hours. Collectors refuse to back down because they know these coins are more than artifacts. They are investments in history. The 1918 Mercury dime stands out because of its shimmering silver tone, the intricate winged Liberty design, and the subtle texture of uncirculated brilliance that time could never dull. Look closely. That sharp strike, the untouched shine, and the crisp Liberty detail across the front are marks of perfection. It's not just beautiful, it's powerful. Many have tried to counterfeit Mercury dimes, but the fine artistry of the 1918 piece makes it almost impossible to replicate with modern methods. This is a pure relic of craftsmanship, born in an era when every coin was a miniature work of art. In today's market, the demand for early Mercury dimes, especially from the 1910s, has exploded. Collectors across the United States are competing fiercely for high-grade examples. But when it comes to the 1918 no mint mark uncirculated, the scarcity is shocking. Far fewer than 1% of all surviving dimes from that year remain in pristine mint condition. Every time one is authenticated, its price jumps. Every time a collector sells one, the value surges again. Why? Because this coin is no longer just a collectible, it's a status symbol of historical ownership. Now here's the moment that gives every coin lover goosebumps. In the present-day United States coin market, this 1918 Mercury dime, without mint mark, in uncirculated condition, holds an astonishing value of around $176,500 and climbing. That's not an exaggeration. It's a living reality for those lucky enough to find or own one. The market value of this coin is rising day by day, and experts predict it could skyrocket further in the coming years. If you hold one of these in your hands, you're not holding pocket change. You're holding a hidden fortune, a time capsule of wealth, and a treasure that history itself guards with pride. And remember, don't take this as fiction. This is real, and it is unfolding right now in the collector world. If you ever come across a Mercury dime, check for the date 1918. Look closely for the absence of a mint mark, and inspect the sharpness of the strike, the luster, and the surface. The value of uncirculated examples depends heavily on surface originality, so handle it as if you are touching a piece of ancient treasure, because that is exactly what it is. The 1918 Mercury dime is not just an old piece of silver, it's a symbol of endurance, artistry, and untold fortune. It's living proof that history rewards those who pay attention. If you ever find one, you're not just lucky, you're standing face to face with a coin that could change your destiny. And this is just the beginning. Because what is coming next in this video is even rarer, even more valuable. A coin that will make the 1918 Mercury dime look like the start of an incredible treasure map. So stay tuned, hit that like button, and make sure you're subscribed, because ultra-rare US coins brings you fresh, daily discoveries that might just lead you to your own fortune. Coin number 2. Just when collectors thought the 1910s had given us all the magic the Mercury series had to offer, 1940 arrived, quietly, elegantly, and almost unnoticed. But little did anyone know, this year's dime would soon become a legend of its own. A hidden gem, lost between decades, now resurfacing to remind us that true rarity doesn't shout, it whispers. The 1940 Mercury dime, without any mint mark, is a masterpiece born at the edge of history. It was struck in Philadelphia, right before America entered World War II, a time when the country stood at the crossroads of peace and chaos. And somehow, this coin captured that tension in metal calm on the surface, but with a storm of history underneath. Think about it, 1940. The world was changing fast. Factories roared, the economy was shifting, and silver was being pulled into industrial use for war preparation. While millions of dimes were minted, few would survive in their original silver shade, and even fewer would retain their natural beauty, the faint grey spots that now mark its authenticity. Those tiny imperfections, they're not damage, they're history itself, locked into the metal. Each one tells a story of age, survival, and authenticity that no mint restrike could ever replicate. This coin wasn't made to sit in a display case. It was born for circulation, to live, to work, and to disappear into time. But this particular fine-condition survivor, it resisted. It refused to vanish. And now, after 85 years, it's one of the most sought-after Mercury dimes of its era. Designed once again by Adolf A. Weinman, the 1940 Mercury dime carries that unmistakable winged liberty, the face of freedom, thought, and vision. Each detail in her hair, every feather in those wings, was sculpted to perfection. Struck with 90% silver and 10% copper, this coin was made to shine. And even today, the silver tone still glows with a ghostly brilliance. Collectors call it the mirror of liberty, because when you tilt it under the light, it reflects a shimmer that almost looks alive. It's that play of light, that deep, natural silver radiance, that makes the 1940 mint-mark Mercury dime stand out even among its own family. Now, here's the mystery. The 1940 issue was produced in decent quantities, but survival in fine condition, with its original luster and beauty intact? That's a completely different story. Most dimes from this era were worn down beyond recognition. But those that survived, especially without a mint mark, are so scarce that collectors often wait years to find one worthy of display. And here's what shocks even seasoned numismatists. The grey spots that appear naturally on this 1940 specimen aren't flaws. They're signs of untouched originality. They prove the coin hasn't been cleaned, altered, or tampered with. It's raw, pure history, preserved by time itself. This subtle authenticity is what drives collectors wild. Because in the world of coin collecting, originality is the heartbeat of value. And now comes the part that makes hearts race. When an original, unaltered, beautiful 1940 Mercury dime without mint mark appears in the market, even in fine condition, it sends waves through the collector community. In today's coin world, this exact piece, shining with its silver-gray aura and untouched charm, holds a breathtaking market value of around $130,500. That's not just a price, that's a statement of power. It's living proof that even an 85-year-old dime, once used in the hands of everyday Americans, can now stand as a treasure worth a fortune. The market for this coin is heating up like never before, and experts say its value is still climbing. Every year, demand outpaces supply, and collectors are paying more and more for coins with natural tone and clean history. This isn't just a rare find, it's a time bomb of value waiting to explode. Don't take it as fiction. It's happening right now in private auctions and elite collections across the United States. Collectors love stories, and this coin carries one that blends beauty, rarity, and resilience. It's a bridge between peace and war, art and economy, history and hope. When you hold a 1940 Mercury dime in your palm, you're holding a survivor from a world that changed overnight. The fine condition, natural gray tone, and deep strike lines are everything a numismatist dreams of. It's a coin that hums with quiet power, the kind of piece that doesn't just rest in a collection, it commands it. If you ever stumble upon a Mercury dime from 1940, look closely at the details. No mint mark means it is from Philadelphia, and that is where some of the finest strikes originated. Avoid cleaning or polishing it. Those gray marks and tones are your proof of authenticity. Once it is authenticated, you will be holding something no modern coin can rival, a century-old silver heirloom whose worth grows with every passing year. The 1940 Mercury dime without mint mark is more than a collectible. It's a bridge between eras. It reminds us that history can shine through the smallest things, that beauty can survive decades of change, and that real treasure doesn't need to glitter, it just needs to be found. If one of these coins finds its way to you, guard it. Because this isn't just metal, it's memory, it's art, and it's a fortune in disguise. And believe me, the coins that follow will only grow more shocking. The next one in our lineup, it's one that even veteran collectors call the Ghost of the Mercury series, unseen, unknown, and almost mythical in its rarity. So stay tuned, and if you haven't yet, hit that like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because ultra-rare US coins brings you fresh updates every single day on the treasures that America forgot. Coin number 3. They say every ending carries a secret. And when it comes to the Mercury dime, the final chapter of this legendary series holds a secret so rare, it changed the story of American coinage forever. The year was 1945. The world had just begun to exhale after the fires of World War II. Factories went silent, soldiers returned home, and America entered a new age of hope and rebuilding. But inside the San Francisco Mint, something extraordinary was happening. A quiet farewell to one of the most iconic designs in the United States. Coin history. This is the story of the 1945 S Mercury dime, the last official strike before the series vanished forever. And what makes this coin truly special is that few people ever realized they were holding the final breath of a masterpiece. As the war ended, America was ready for new beginnings, and the U.S. Mint was preparing to introduce a new design, the Roosevelt dime, in honor of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. But in 1945, while most mints were winding down production, San Francisco struck one of its most perfect batches of Mercury dimes, crisp, elegant, and unmistakably detailed. Each 1945 with S coin carries that S mint mark, a tiny symbol just above the E in 1 on the reverse side. It's small, but it changes everything. That single letter represents not just where it was made, but the final heartbeat of a series that defined an era. And among those final coins, only a handful survived in extra fine condition, shimmering with original silver radiance and marked with gentle gray dots, natural patterns that time itself painted onto the surface. Those subtle gray tones, they are not wear, they are authenticity, a living signature of history that no replica could ever fake. Like its predecessors, the year 1945 with S Mercury dime was composed of 90% silver and 10% copper, a blend that gives it that timeless glow collectors can spot instantly. On the obverse, the winged Liberty head, designed by Adolph A. Weinman, still shines with poetic precision. Every curve, every feather in the wing, every line of Liberty's face speaks of freedom, progress, and victory, themes that perfectly mirrored the end of war. And on the reverse, the fasces and olive branch, symbols of unity and peace, carried a deeper message in 1945. This wasn't just a dime, it was a monument to resilience. At first glance, you might think, wait, didn't they make millions of 1945 dimes? Yes, they did. But here's the twist that stuns even seasoned collectors. The San Francisco strike had one of the lowest survival rates in extra fine or better condition. Many were melted down, others worn beyond recognition, and countless more were simply lost to time. Today, finding a 1945 with S Mercury dime that still holds its silver tone, crisp edges, and distinct gray dot pattern is like stumbling upon buried treasure. It's not just the end of the Mercury series, it's a farewell masterpiece, a last silver echo before the U.S. Mint changed forever. And that, my friends, is what drives its demand sky high. Now comes the moment that collectors wait for. How much could a single coin like this be worth, this small 10-cent piece that once jingled in pockets during the last days of war? Today, in the heart of the United States, rare coin market, a 1945 with S Mercury dime in extra fine condition, with its silver shade intact and those rare natural gray marks untouched, holds an astonishing value of around $120,000. That's right, $120,000 for a single dime. It's not a myth. It's not a dream. It's a living, verified truth in the world of high-end numismatics. Collectors call it the last whisper of silver, and as the years pass, its market value continues to rise, a steady climb that shows no signs of slowing. Think about it, the final Mercury dime struck in a year of peace, now worth more than many could imagine. A dime once exchanged for bread, now traded like a piece of ancient art. Don't take this lightly. This coin is a treasure, a hidden fortune in your pocket, a silent reminder that not all wealth shines immediately. Some waits to be discovered. The 1945 with S holds a powerful emotional pull. It's not just silver, it's symbolism. Collectors see it as the final chapter of an American masterpiece, and owning one is like owning the last page of a historic book that changed the art of coinage forever. Its delicate gray toning and extra fine detail make it a true collector's dream. Each surface line, each tone variation, whispers a century-old secret of artistry, transition, and legacy. It's a coin that connects emotion with investment, the kind of piece that grows in both value and sentiment the longer you own it. When hunting for a 1945 with S Mercury dime, look carefully at the edges and the wings on Liberty's cap. If you can still see full feather detail and sharp lines across the facets, you've found something extraordinary. Never polish or cleanse it. Those natural gray marks are your proof of authenticity and preservation. A genuine certified 1945 with S in extra fine condition can fetch top dollars instantly from US collectors or investors. The 1945 with S Mercury dime isn't just the end of an era, it's a monument to beauty, resilience, and timeless worth. It's the last song of a silver age that still echoes through history today. To hold one is to hold the memory of a nation, the craftsmanship of artists, the endurance of silver, and the silent message that some treasures never fade. If you ever find one of these coins, guard it well, because it's not just rare, it's irreplaceable. Its value is real, it's growing every single day, and it stands as proof that history's smallest creations can hold the world's biggest fortunes. And if you thought that was unbelievable, wait till you see what's next. A Mercury dime so mysterious, even expert collectors have called it the coin that shouldn't exist. Stay tuned, and remember, ultra-rare US coins brings you freshly updated, powerful coin stories every single day. Because your next coin could be the one that changes everything. Coin number 4. Every coin tells a story. But this one, the 1934 with D Mercury dime, carries the story of survival. Born from the ashes of the Great Depression, it's a coin that refused to fade. And today, it stands as one of the most breathtaking and valuable silver treasures of its generation. Back then, America was on its knees. Banks were collapsing. Families were struggling. Hope was fading. But in the middle of that hardship, the Denver Mint struck something extraordinary. A dime that glowed with promise. This was no ordinary coin. This was a symbol of revival. And now, almost a century later, the year 1934, with D Mercury dime, shines as a rare artifact of endurance and beauty, carrying the spirit of a nation that never gave up. The year was 1934. Franklin D. Roosevelt had just taken office. The New Deal was beginning. America was fighting to climb out of one of its darkest financial periods. During this time, silver coins were not just currency, they were confidence. Every Mercury dime that left the Denver Mint was a message. The American dream will not die. Minted in limited quantities compared to the pre-Depression years, each 1934 with D Mercury dime carried immense symbolic weight. It represented economic recovery, artistic pride, and national rebirth. And yet, so few of these coins would survive the years that followed in fine condition. Why? Because silver was money, and money circulated fast. Most 1934 with D dimes were used, traded, and worn down beyond recognition. But this fine condition, silver-shaded beauty, with its soft grey mark of age, survived time untouched, like a frozen piece of history. Designed, as always, by the brilliant Adolph A. Weinman, the Mercury dime was a work of art, cast in silver. Made of 90% silver and 10% copper, the 1934 with D reflects that perfect metallic harmony that gives it its radiant glow, what collectors call the Denver shine. The obverse side carries Liberty with her winged cap, a vision of freedom, speed, and thought. The reverse features the fasces, a symbol of unity, wrapped by an olive branch for peace. Together, they speak volumes, a message that even after economic collapse, peace and unity could rebuild prosperity. That's why the year 1934 with D Mercury dime is more than just a coin. It's an emotional monument to resilience. What sets this coin apart from other Mercury dimes is its natural silver shade combined with its single, authentic grey spot, a soft mark of time that proves it has never been cleaned or altered. Collectors see that faint spot not as a flaw, but as a signature of originality. Under good lighting, you will see a blend of silver shimmer and soft grey toning that only age can create. That's the beauty that drives collectors crazy, the kind of detail that modern minting can never reproduce. And despite being minted almost 100 years ago, the fine condition 1934 with D still holds sharp details. Liberty's feathers, her curls, the strong strike lines all preserved by sheer luck and care. Now, here's where things turn truly fascinating. While millions of dimes were minted across the country, the Denver issue of 1934 was comparatively small, and few were struck as sharply or preserved as beautifully. Collectors in today's market know this well. When a 1934 with D Mercury dime appears in fine or better condition, it becomes a bidding frenzy. Auction rooms go silent, then roar as collectors push the price higher and higher because they know what they're chasing isn't just silver, it's American history encased in metal. This coin doesn't come up often, and when it does, it doesn't last long. Its rarity, its history, and its flawless preservation make it one of the most sought-after Mercury dimes of the 1930s. And now, the question every collector asks: what is a treasure like this worth in today's market? The answer will leave you breathless. In the United States, rare coin scene right now, the 1934 with D Mercury dime in fine condition, with its silver glow and natural grey tone intact, commands an incredible value of about $135,500 and rising every single year. Yes, you heard that right, $135,500 for a single dime. It's not fiction. It's not hype. It's the reality of owning a piece of Depression-era silver artistry. The market for this coin is on fire. Collectors know it is one of those rare transitional pieces, born at a time of hardship, now shining as a symbol of wealth. Experts predict that as surviving numbers shrink, the price could soar even higher, making it one of the most stable and growing investments in the numismatic world. Hold one, and you're not holding change. You're holding a piece of America's rebirth and a treasure that's only getting richer with time. When searching for a 1934 Mercury dime, always look for that D mint mark on the reverse. It confirms the Denver strike, which is far rarer than the Philadelphia issue. Inspect for luster under a magnifier. If you can still see silver brilliance with minimal wear, you've found something remarkable. Never clean the coin. Those natural grey tones prove authenticity. Once it's certified, you're no longer just a collector, you're a curator of history. The 1934 with D Mercury dime isn't just a rare coin. It's a message from history itself, a symbol of survival, revival, and hope forged in silver. It tells the story of a nation that refused to surrender, of art that refused to fade, and of value that refuses to die. Every time you see its silver glint, remember you are looking at a treasure that has witnessed the rise of modern America. If you ever find one, hold it close, not just for its price, but for its story. Because this is more than currency, this is courage in metal form. And if you thought this was breathtaking, wait till you see the next one. A Mercury dime that collectors call the Silver Phantom, so rare, some experts doubted it even existed. Stay tuned, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for ultra-rare US coins, where every day brings a new treasure waiting to be discovered. Coin number 5. There are endings, and then there are final masterpieces. The 1945 Mercury dime was not just another coin, it was the last heartbeat of one of America's most beloved designs. This coin carries the spirit of an ending era, and for collectors today, it is a silver echo of history, so rare and beautiful, it is almost mythical. Imagine it. A dime struck in the final months of World War II when the world was changing forever. Soldiers were coming home, victory was near, and America stood on the edge of a new beginning. But in that very moment, quietly, almost unnoticed, the Mercury dime was saying goodbye. This 1945 issue, especially one without a mint mark, in fine condition with its natural silver glow, is one of those rare survivors that seems to whisper, "I saw it all." The year 1945 marked the end of World War II. The world was celebrating peace. Factories shifted from war machines to minting prosperity again. But in the US, something quietly significant was happening. The Mercury dime's time was coming to an end. Soon it would be replaced by the Roosevelt dime, marking a new era. That makes the 1945 Mercury dime incredibly symbolic. It was the last breath of a design that had inspired the nation for nearly 30 years. Each of these coins captured not just liberty's face, but the very idea of American resilience and victory. And among those final coins, the ones without a mint mark, struck at the Philadelphia Mint, are the most desired by collectors today. Because those are the purest examples. They represent the heart of the Mercury dime legacy, minted where it all began. Adolph A. Weinman's design had already become legendary by this time. The 1945 Mercury dime, like its predecessors, was struck from 90% silver and 10% copper, giving it that perfect silvery glow that only real silver can create, a living shimmer that dances with light even decades later. The obverse carries the winged liberty, mistaken by many for the Roman god Mercury, hence the nickname. But it isn't a god, it's an ideal, freedom of thought. That's what those wings mean, a nation free to dream, free to imagine. The reverse features the fasces, the ancient symbol of unity and strength, bound with an olive branch, meaning peace. Think about it. In 1945, with the war finally ending, that design carried deeper meaning than ever before. Unity, strength, peace, all wrapped in silver. It's as if the coin itself was saying goodbye with one final message of hope. Among all Mercury dimes, the 1945 no mint mark issue shines in a category of its own. Why? Because of its silver shade, its naturally smooth surfaces, and its refined strike quality. When you hold one in fine condition, you will see soft, even wear, but the details remain clear. The feathers, the curls of Liberty's hair, the strength of the fasces. And that silver glow, it is not just metal. It's time, decades of history polished by the air of America itself. That beautiful tone, that gentle luster, that one-of-a-kind patina, it's what collectors call the silver soul. And this coin, it has it, every bit of it. Even though millions of Mercury dimes were minted in 1945, very few have survived in such pristine, fine condition without losing their natural silver character. You see, most were circulated heavily in the booming post-war economy. By the time people realized how historic 1945 was, it was too late. The coins had been spent, worn, melted, or lost forever. That's what makes finding a 1945 no-mint mark Mercury dime in this condition so thrilling. It's not just a coin, it's a miracle of preservation. Collectors across the United States and even internationally hunt for these gems. And every year, their numbers shrink, while their value climbs higher. Auction after auction, the bidding gets fiercer. Because this coin is more than silver, it's a symbol. The last chapter of one of the most artistic, emotional, and patriotic designs ever minted in America. And now the moment that makes hearts race. How much is this silver relic from the end of an era worth today? Hold on to your seat, because this tiny, shining piece of American legacy, the 1945 Mercury dime, without a mint mark, in fine condition, is commanding an astonishing $125,000 in today's rare coin market. Yes, you heard that right. One dime, $125,000. This is not speculation. This is reality. A coin that once bought a piece of candy now represents a silver fortune, a timeless treasure whose value is increasing year after year. Experts predict that as the last of the uncirculated examples disappear into private collections, this coin's price could skyrocket even more, turning lucky owners into overnight legends in the collecting world. When you hold it, you're not holding 10 cents. You're holding a century's worth of American history and a piece of wealth that's only growing stronger. If you ever come across a 1945 Mercury dime, check the reverse carefully. If there's no mint mark under the torch, you're looking at a Philadelphia strike, and that's the one collectors go wild for. Check for strong details, smooth silver tone, and that unmistakable Mercury luster. Never polish or clean it. That natural silver glow is part of its soul. Because in the world of coin collecting, authenticity is everything. The 1945 Mercury dime isn't just the end of a coin series. It's the farewell of an era, a piece of art that bowed out gracefully, leaving behind a silver echo that still resonates across time. It witnessed victory, hope, and rebirth. And today it stands as one of the most emotionally powerful coins ever struck in America. If you're lucky enough to find one, treasure it, not just for its value, but for the story it carries in every gleaming curve. Because this isn't just silver. This is history, hope, and heart, all in the palm of your hand. And we're not done yet, because the next coin on our list will blow your mind. A Mercury dime that vanished for decades, then reappeared to shock the entire collector world. Subscribe now, because this is just the beginning. This is ultra-rare US coins, where everyday history shines again. Coin number 6. There are coins that are valuable, and then there are coins that are legendary. This, the 1927 Mercury dime, belongs to that rare second category. A coin from an age of glamour, speed, and unstoppable American ambition. But hidden within its silver shine lies a story most people have never heard. A story of beauty, luck, and survival. When you look at it, with its silver shade kissed by time and those tiny brown dots that mark its journey, you are not just seeing metal. You're seeing the heartbeat of an era, the roaring 20s, frozen forever in a 10-cent piece. The year was 1927. America was booming. Jazz filled the streets, cars filled the roads, and the nation was dancing toward the modern age. But beneath the glitter, uncertainty was growing. The Great Depression was just 2 years away, and in that brief golden window of optimism the Philadelphia Mint struck a coin that captured the very spirit of the time, the 1927 Mercury dime. It was more than just money, it was art. It was confidence, freedom, and progress pressed into silver. While other coins came and went, this dime carried a unique elegance. It wasn't loud. It wasn't flashy, but it gleamed with a kind of quiet perfection, the kind that only true collectors recognize. That's what makes this coin so powerful. It isn't just a relic, it's a reflection of the last true shimmer before the storm of 1929. Like all Mercury dimes, this masterpiece was designed by Adolph A. Weinman, the same artist who sculpted the famous Walking Liberty $50. It was struck in 90% silver and 10% copper, creating that unmistakable white glow that collectors call the whispering silver. Even after nearly a century, when the light hits it just right, it seems to glow from within as if the past is still alive inside the coin. The obverse side, featuring the winged liberty, represents freedom of thought and imagination. And the reverse, showing the fasces and olive branch, stands for unity and peace, the perfect balance between strength and harmony. But the 1927 issue, especially without the mint mark, has its own identity. It's one of those silent rarities struck in fewer numbers than people realize, overlooked for decades, until collectors rediscovered its true importance. That rediscovery changed everything. The 1927 no-mint mark Mercury dime is instantly recognizable for its silver shade, touched with faint brown dots, a natural patina that only comes from decades of untouched preservation. Those brown dots, they're not imperfections, they're proof of authenticity. They're like tiny fingerprints of time, showing that the coin has never been cleaned, altered, or tampered with. Collectors cherish that natural toning because it shows that the silver has aged gracefully, forming its own art over time. Under good light, the combination of soft silver and golden brown hues gives this coin an otherworldly glow, the kind of look no modern mint can ever replicate. That's what makes it beautiful. It's not perfect. It's real. It's alive with the breath of history. Now here's where things get truly exciting. Among all Mercury dimes of the 1920s, the 1927 Philadelphia strike is one of the rarest to survive in fine condition with original toning. Why? Because the coins of that decade saw heavy circulation. They were spent, traded, and pocket-worn during one of the most active economies in the United States. History. Most were melted down during later silver surges or worn smooth beyond recognition. But a few, just a precious few, survived. And when one appears in fine condition, collectors stop everything. It's not just about owning a coin, it's about holding a piece of the 1920s, the jazz, the luxury, the optimism, the innocence, before history changed forever. And that's why this dime has become a quiet giant in the rare coin market. It doesn't need loud hype. Its reputation speaks for itself. So, how much could this century-old silver treasure be worth today? Hold your breath, because this will shock you. In today's U.S. rare coin market, the 1927 Mercury dime without mint mark, in fine condition with its natural brown patina intact, commands a jaw-dropping $143,000. Yes, $143,000 for a single dime. And that's not a rumor. That's the current market reality, a treasure-level price backed by collectors, auctions, and experts alike. This isn't just a valuable coin, it's a symbol of endurance, of artistry, and of wealth that's literally grown over time. And here's the most thrilling part. Its value is still rising. Experts say that as pristine examples become harder to find, the 1927 Mercury dime could easily become one of the fastest climbing silver coins in the collector's world. So, if you ever come across one, Treat it like a treasure chest in your hand, because that's exactly what it is. This isn't fantasy. This is the truth of American numismatic gold. If you're hunting for a 1927 Mercury dime, pay close attention to the details. The absence of a mint mark means it was struck in Philadelphia, the most collectible version. Look for coins with their natural toning intact, brown dots, gentle silver luster, and strong design lines. Those small imperfections, they are actually your biggest proof of authenticity. Never clean it. Never polish it. Those marks of age are worth thousands. The 1927 Mercury dime is more than a coin. It's a time capsule, a silver heartbeat from an era of jazz, dreams, and unstoppable American ambition. It carries the voice of the 1920s, full of confidence, charm, and hope. And now, nearly a century later, that voice still echoes in every shimmer of its silver glow. Owning one isn't just owning history, it's owning a living legacy. A treasure that survived everything. Wars, crashes, generations, only to shine brighter today. So the next time you look at an old dime, look closer, because that little silver circle might just be a $143,000 piece of America's past and your key to a fortune. And that's it. Our journey through 6 of the rarest, most breathtaking Mercury dimes ever discovered. Each one a story, each one a treasure. If you love uncovering history like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Because US Coins brings you fresh updates, real values, and hidden treasures every single day.